Hello guys. Introduce myself. My name is Dharma Santi. Today, I and my friend Gustia Yukitikawili want to presentation about media and material development for teaching English for young learners. Introduction. In Indonesia, teaching English to young learners is a part of curriculum. Teaching English to young learners is different from teaching English to adults. It is because the way children learn foreign language is different from the way adults learn. Several children characteristics are regarding their cognitive development and attention span. Instructional media itself is defined by scanline as all materials that can be used by the teacher to conduct teaching learning activities and support students in reaching instructional objectives. In order to make it easier to teach students, there are various media and materials that can be used by teachers to make it easier for students to understand learning. The importance of using media for teaching is that the media can be used to help students in their studies so that the teaching and learning process is more effective and efficient. Next slide, media and material for teaching English for young learners. In general, the media can be classified into three types, namely visual media, audio media, and audiovisual media. Visual media is media that can be seen and touched by the students, such as picture, photo, real object, map, miniature, and relia. The most common media used by teachers are pictures, flashcards, and real objects or authentic materials. Audio media for listening skill is media that is recorded and can be heard. Audiovisual media are widely used in English young learners' classroom to show story, events, or circumstance in another place. Images which are displayed along with information in English should be selected according to the level of student language development. Here are some media and material development for teaching English for young learners. First, picture or image. Picture or graphic material refer to non-photographic and two-dimensional materials which is utilized by the teacher to convey message to the student. This kind of material includes drawings, charts, graphs, poster, cartoon, etc. Various kinds of images which are written in the form of cards. Flashcards, circular cards, flip cards, etc. really help to reinforce the process of teaching English to children. Teaching new vocabulary and concepts of view many and a lot will be clear by using media. Children love to see the show or listen to the tales by using puppets. Since the beginning until now, puppets are very popular because the show become more attractive and make the ones who see them feel happy. Number 2, course book. Course book is a form of print media. It contains material or verbal information through print. It can also be used as basic instructional guide by the teacher. Number 3, board. Board equal to chalkboard or blackboard, whiteboard, and interactive blackboard or IWB. Like pictures, board also are used for several purposes. Hermer described that teachers can use board as notepad, explanation aid, picture frame, public workbook, game board, and notice board. Number 4, overhead projector or OHP. By using overhead projector, the students can see in front of the class the material which is rendered or drawn in a transparent. The transparent will be projected by using projectors. And the last, computer-based presentation technology. The hardware needed for this instructional media are computer and LCD projector. This instructional media combine both audio and visual material. By using computer-based presentation technology, or so-called multimedia presentation, enable the teacher to convey much large information to the student. Utilizing the appropriate instructional media is required because of several benefits. One of the benefits is to enhance students' motivation by using instructional media, etc. The study shows that the teachers in elementary school are infrequent using instructional media in teaching learning process. Some factors influencing the use of instructional media by the teacher comprise availability of instructional media, manageability of classroom tasks, and administrative support. Okay, the next slide. The benefit of media learning for teaching English for young learners. Number one, to simplify the process of language learning, to reduce the use of mother tongue, to motivate the students, to explain the new concept, hence the student will understand without having difficulty and misunderstanding. Number 5, to adjust the perception in case if the new concept has a meaning more than one. Number 6, to increase the quality of learning English. And number 7, to make the process of learning more interesting and interactive. Based on our understanding about young learners with each individuality, so the teacher must be smart to choose adapting and developing the technique or strategy of teaching to compress visual aid. The teacher must be active to give demonstration, give an example moving on hand and by face expression that represent each situation. Okay, for the next slide is structure of deciding the material for teaching English for young learners. Okay, factor number 1 is young learner characteristic. Young learners are at the level of concrete operational stage, the stage when children have enough experience to begin to conceptualize some abstract problem solving. They still learn best by doing. They need a lot of illustrations, pictures, and activities to model a concept. At this stage of development, they boast numbers of characteristics, have high curiosity, believe that the world is full of surprise, love playing, have short attention span, learn better through action use of their sense. Number 2 is cultural context. The location where a foreign language, in this case English, is learned determines the necessity of the language used as a means of communication. In the English-speaking country, Europe and Africa, and non-English-speaking countries, Middle Asia, Central Asia, and Middle East, young learners will demand different needs in using the language for communication. The more exposure the young learners have in their environment will help them to learn English more naturally. This situation can be found in the English-speaking countries, and this helps the materials to be more naturally used. Therefore, more authentic. Contrary to the English-speaking countries, in the non-English-speaking countries, the materials tend to be artificial. The context used are not commonly found in their daily life. Okay, number three, how language is presented there. There is need to teach this core skill as well as language item to young learners. However, many English young learners material operate predominantly at the sentence level or single utterance level rather than the discourse level. Winner 1995 adds that the use of short unalized chunks of language or formulaic utterance is a well-known strategy of language learners of all ages when building up their fluency. In the material, rarely are found that is the use of stage, where the use of chunks, where helping children move from the understanding or production of single chunks into the ability to produce substantial and coherent text on their own, either written or spoken. Okay, for the next factor and the next explanation will be explained by my friend is Kumputri.
Swastiastu. My name is Igustiayu Putri Pratiwi, number student 14. Now I'm going to continue about the factors of deciding the materials for teaching English young learners. The next factors is multiple intelligence Gardner's. Gardner's multiple intelligence or MI theory suggests that there are 7 different abilities, talents and mental, skill used for problem solving. Those are intrapersonal, interpersonal, musical, bodily kinesthetic, spatial, linguistic, and logical mathematical. Adds up the styles of learning by adding up studies, experimental, analytical, global, dependent, and independent, further implying that learner preferred style might be variable depending on what is being learned, where it is being learned, who is being learned with, and what it is being learned for. This suggests that materials are in need of supplementing young learners' materials to be appreciated with their difference of learning styles. Young learners need more than just talk that materials are good enough when they are having good appearance for characters, visual, colors, relevant, and humor in their presentation. The next is teacher roles. A teacher's belief system is based on their goals and value from Richards and Lockhart 1996 in relation to content and process of teaching and their understanding in which they work and their roles within it, implying that teachers' roles in the implementation of syllabus influence its success. Once teachers are able to play their roles appropriately when teaching, the classroom will be well managed. This comprises how teachers use the materials in the classroom, how they can apply the appropriate activities from the material to be taught to learners. Not necessarily the native speakers teachers, but non-native speaker teachers are also be advantageous when they are able to affect the skills, attitude to learners, and willingness to take risks that they bring into their classroom. Next is teacher selection of instructional media from Reiser and Dick 1996 believe that in selecting instructional media, the teacher should be considered three main factors comprising. The first one is practicality. Practicality including availability, cost efficient, and time efficient. Second is student will done Nurul Aini instructional media in teaching English to young learners. A case study in elementary school in Kuningan 202 appropriateness to students characteristic and learning condition. And the third is instructional appropriateness or appropriate to material instructional goals and activity. Next is teachers' problems in selecting and using instructional media. Teachers' problems in selecting and using instructional media. Problems were encountered by the teachers not only in using instructional media but also in selecting them from INI 2013. In selecting instructional media, the problems encountered by the teachers were limited time, limited cost allocation, and availability of instructional media, appropriateness of instructional media, and teachers' negative belief towards instructional media. Problems were also experienced by the teachers in the process of utilizing media. The teachers often encountered technical problems. For instance, running out of supply and the dysfunction of high-tech instructional media use. The last was personal problem. It dealt with the difficulty experienced by the teachers in explaining content in the instructional media. And then the last factor is strategies to solve the problems in selecting and using instructional media. Due to the existence of various problems in both selecting and using instructional media, the teachers had several ways to overcome them. The first to overcome problems in process of instructional media selection regarding limited time and cost, unavailability of media in the school. All of the teachers had the same action, which is using the readily available instructional media in the school. With all of the inadequacy in their school, they try to optimize the instructional media provided to help the student reach the instructional goal. However, types of instructional media by the teacher differs each other. This was affected by teachers' education background and experience. In the meantime, to solve or even avoid technical and personal problems, which were the problems they faced in using instructional media, the teachers give effort by preparing backup instructional media and asking for technician support. Furthermore, in order to make the teachers unable to utilize instructional media, especially the high-tech one, the teachers ask for special training or workshop for utilizing media by certain responsible party. Okay, from the material, we have a conclusion. In Indonesia, teaching English to young learners is a part of curriculum. Teaching English to young learners is different from teaching English to adults. In order to make it easier to teach students, there are various media and materials that can be used by teachers to make it easier for students to understand learning. In general, the media can be classified into three types. Namely, the first is visual media, second is audio media, and the third is